just on the broom. Okay. Did not paint it at all. But he had really good rotations. I think it was not too much ice. Because I was expecting for it to go. So it was not, not as I think if you threw that with that ice for 10. You like this ice? Yeah.
You guys are okay with me peeling the guard there?
No, I mean, look, this is better.
And then add like 10 seconds.
I think we made really good time on that, so.
しみだ。
I mean, in the ice now. If I just like that. Okay, I want to get that. Okay. I think it's going to yeah, I think so too.
Good morning. And thank you for tuning in to the MoPac Women's Club Playdowns 2021-2022. This is your host Ryan with you. And we are broadcasting from the Lake Tahoe Epic Curling Club in State Line, Nevada. First off, I want to apologize for some technical difficulties that we had at the start of the draw. Additionally, the draw schedule included practice and lost shot challenge shots, and so that led to a late start. But we are underway now, and Team Burton is off to a great start. They had the hammer to start the game, and they blinked the first end, so he didn't miss much. They blinked the first end, and it looks like they were able to truly capitalize on having the hammer in the second end, scoring at least a deuce or maybe three, waiting to see what score they put up on the scoreboard. And so now Team Coutts has the hammer. Team Coutts is coming out of the Hollywood Curling Club out of Los Angeles, California. And Team Burton, aka Monsters, curl out of the Coyotes Curling Club in Phoenix, or Tempe, depending on who you ask. So Burton's first shots came into the top of the house, and it looks like Team Coutts is going to tap that back a little bit, it appears. Provide some separation. There are now 2 rocks in play. And for Team Burton, kind of curious to see what Skip Burton does. Looks like they're probably just going to draw rounds, which makes sense. The lead for Team Burton, Kim Gaddy, delivers her shot. It's coming down. Nice. Looks like the weight is pretty close. Okay, it looks like it's going to be in a guard, a 2 guard. So this is an interesting setup for an end, 3 shots in. And for Team Coutts, Team Coutts is trying to chip that glue out. Jasmine Hashi is delivering her second stone. And it does appear to be a free guard zone violation, unfortunately, intended to overcurl. During the practice, the ladies on the ice were saying that the ice is pretty fast, and I didn't get a chance to see how it was curling, but that's why we're here now. We can see how it's doing. This rock has a bit of pace to it. Looks like about half weight. And they were able to chip out the Coutts rock. So Team Coutts out of Hollywood is playing with 3 players. So lead Jasmine Hashi will get another rock thrown into the delivery area, the scoring area. Coutts is second. Amanda Landry and Gonzalez is sweeping pretty heavy, and it did tick the guard, but the free guard zone's off, and so it's all good. Like Burton wants to split the house a little bit, which seems to be a fairly solid strategy. Although she's looking at different options. This is Amy Thompson's shot, the second for Burton. Looks like it might be going to the back of the house.
Just hit the brakes
but it is hanging around, so that rock may come back into play later in the end. So this is now Amanda Ladrian Gonzalez's first rock. Looks like they want to draw around the blue that's in the top 8, but it's going to tap that back. It's pretty good on the shots. I think they're just gonna take that out, roll to the side, mostly 12 foot. There's the possibility of a double for Team Coutts. Looks like that's what they're going to set up. Team Coutts does have the hammer. That's release. Jasmine's not, now Jasmine's sweeping on it. And can they get them both? They just did the one. And they're going to roll out the shooter. Team Burton sweepers are on this shot. Have to touch light. Coming up as a guard, relatively tight guard. So Coutts has the hammer, but there's 2 of Burton's rocks in the house. But it looks like they definitely want to just get rid of a Burton shot rock and keep their shooter. This is Gonzalez's last. Did get rid of the shot rock, but it did not get the roll that they were hoping to cross the face of the rock. Just given where the rocks are, it definitely looks like the force is on for Team Burton to force the force on Team Coutts. So this is the first of the skip stones for the monsters. looks like they threw the rock with a bit of a pace, and they are not going to stick the shooter. So it depends on what Team Coutts wants to do at this point, because they could, chip out that Burton rock that's hanging on the back 12 and aim for a blank. Although it looks like they're probably just going to draw. Given the experience of the team, maybe they just wanted to put a point on the board. This is the first draw of the tournament, so maybe just kind of figuring out the ice and not being too risky. So it definitely looks a tad light and did not curl up enough. So now this shoe's on the other foot. It definitely looks like Burton could get the force on Team Coutts and be up 2-1 or 3-1 depending on the score heading into the fourth end. Depends on how Burton throws their final skip stone. This is, as I mentioned, the first game of the competition. There's 4 teams competing. You're seeing on sheet A, Team Coutts, as I mentioned, from the Hollywood Curling Club, and then Team Burton from Coyotes. On sheet B, we have Team Feldman from Wine Country and Team K-Bell from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. They're the home team as it were for this tournament. All right, here is Burton's last. And it looks like they are going to chip it out and not stick the shooter. So the door is open for Coutts to possibly blank if they do try that route. Or they could just try and hit any part of most of the house to get their 1 and just keep moving into the fourth end. It's still relatively early in the game. It's the third end. If it's Team Coutts, the strategy is often to try and get control of the hammer on even ends. And so if you could blank this end, that would be a possibly good strategy. But it looks like they are probably just going to do the draw. That is an interesting delivery style. I haven't seen something like that in a while. Oh, they did tend to go for, hopefully going to go for the blank. And they are not going to stick the shooter, so blank in 3 for Team Burton. They keep the hammer going into the fourth end here as the MoPac Women's Club Playdowns continue here on the MoPac YouTube channel. Live streaming of this and other regional competitions is powered by the 18 clubs and 1,500 members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Our mission serves to grow curling and foster competition in 6 western states. Visit mopacca.org today to find a curling club near you or for help getting one started in your community. So we're going to take a minute break here in between ends. Okay, so they did put up the score on on the other end, and it was 3 for Team Burton in the second end. Looks like they have some of the technical staff on the ice. Don't know what's going on necessarily. Hopefully it's not too much, too big of an issue. So this is an event that could, that will result in a trip to Club Nationals for the winning team and perhaps the team that finishes in second place. So they are following many of the tournament or national competition rules, including having competitive rush pads. And this event will be 10 ends, although playing a minimum of 6, just to keep the spirit of competition going. Looks like the ice techs are leaving the ice, and we are about to get ready to get underway here in the fourth end. Burton has the broom down for Gaddy. It looks like there's going to be a guard. Maybe fight in the top of the house. Okay. It's full 12. They might be trying to draw around, but it might be a bit heavy, and it is over curling, so they're going to tap Burton back. Not too bad though. It taps into the back of the house, so it's a backstop for other rocks that might develop later in the end. However, Coutts does have that rock in the house, so it can be taken out, and it definitely looks like that's what Gaddy and Burton are going for right now. Looks like a hack weight shot. They are going to stick the shooter, so now there's 2 relatively early here in the fourth end. Looks like they're trading gifts. Some more information about this event. It is going to be a double round robin. Our coverage is going to be on sheet A for the entirety of the events. We will be sharing the schedule of the event and the broadcast as we continue. Amy Thompson does chip out Coutts' rock, but rolls out. Here's Jasmine's third. It looks like they're just drawing. That is a decent amount of curl. I'm going to estimate about 5 to 6 feet. Another solid takeout, but they are not going to be able to keep the shooter. So Amanda Gonzalez is going to draw again. Looks to be about the same spot as the earlier one. Maybe it's down a little deeper. Tatiana Healing first. Looks like they're just doing another takeout. Hopefully, maybe to stick around. Gonna roll out. So there's different approaches, but if you're able to just keep your shooter around, that would tend to kind of amp up the pressure on the opposing team. Right now, most they're tricking hits and or draws and hits, and the only rocket sneaking around is that first shot. Looks like a monster helping out a little bit on that one. Doesn't look like there's any rocks in the house right now. Some question on if Coutts might be able to manufacture multiple spores here. I think they're trying to. They're trying to draw to the stone in the back left. I don't know if the drawing open would be any good because I have to believe that Burton could chip that out or take it out. It just looks like Burton wants me to play on that. Going over some of the team biographies, James Burton was a member of Team Rizzo as the 2005 Lord of the Rings qualifier. That was the qualifier for the he was also a winner of the 2004 Shorty Jenkins Classic. There's a lot more, but we're going to be seeing a lot of Team Burton over the next couple of days, so I'm going to stay tuned. Here's Burton's first. Possibility for Coutts to blink again, or if Coutts doesn't have a multiple score. See, Coutts, let's get back to Coutts started curling. Toronto's World Game Curling in 2011. Was 12 finalists at the World Game that put together. She also went to the club finals at the World Cup. She's been curling at Hollywood since 2015. There's a little bit of jiggly motion. Our cameras are on lighting stands on the back there to the wobble. Roll out, hopefully for either double for one, and it looks like they're going to go for yes, they are definitely calling for an upwick shot. Over curling. quick check on another game. The other game is going another 1-3. Stable. The West Country's out of early start gets introduced. All over. West Country coming. Looks like they are done. The fourth match. Play at the MoPac Women's Club Playdowns. Force the other team to play on it or do something else with it. Those hips take out here's Gabby's second part of her biography. U.S. Coyotes Curling Association. 500 years since 17, 18, 19. That is a dynasty of Tom Brady as the coach. And her second shot is the hit ball out. So we have an empty house. So Team Coutts could, look at how they're set. As the second rock. Jasmine Hashi started curling in 2014. Savannah Curling Club in Seattle. She was initially focused on the social aspect of the game. She's been on the scene from 2014 Friday Spring League, 2015 500, and the 2019 April Steel All Ads. And her shot is guard, a big guard. There are no Asgards. Should be. So this is maybe Thompson's first rush. Coach Yellow from the 2019 Coyotes Curling that He's also a member of the 2019 President's Cup Championship team at Coyotes Curling Denver. Right on the lid. Maybe a little bit of roll if you go for Team Coutts to get into that yard. Relatively high yard. But it is forced by Team Burton to change up the strategy. Actually takes the guard over to the center. He's actually guarding Team Burton. house. Good job. Now, Coutts is going to draw towards Amanda Lander and Gonzalez is for ALG tournament. ALG is the first 2018 competed in Coyotes Curling, 2019 MoPac Playdowns, 2019 MoPac 500, and a number of basketball around the region. Now for Rock. Center guard to the house. It's pretty open, so we're pretty good. Background of this shot, there are clocks running as I mentioned, this is the other event that's the winner is Rock Burton at Club Nationals. So they are playing for 50 time. Rules 38 minutes of this time total over 10 ends. One timeout if I believe. There is a coach with one of the teams, so normally it'd be a minute timeout, but with the coach, it's going to be a 90-second timeout without the coach. Out of fairness to about the other teams. So Gabby is sweeping the heck out of it. We'll see what we can get out of it. He's going to stick around. Might roll to the outside. I would say that the blank is unlikely in this match, although it's possible that Coutts Amanda Gonzalez and maybe try the double. Given that they have 4 stones to go, this takeout maybe going to the centers, I would think it would help. Told about the out that blue, but they go out. So now Burton looks like she wants to go on to the outer guard. That's not a really has played at the MoPac against 4 persons who played out 7 matches. 2020 as semifinalist in 2015 and a finalist in 2016. That blue on the bunch is quite good. Got a neighborhood watch here on that one.
And they like the weights.
Looks like they're going to try and draw that. Just adds another neighbor to the watch, as it were. Listen, Team Burton is going to try and draw that. down or guard. Guess I'm out. First. At this point, I would have to say before it's not going to be like ideally it'd be a force for Burton, but it's going to be, I think, 4 weeks to get that Burton stand off the floor. So, I mean, I guess it depends on how aggressive Burton wants to get about halfway through the game. Guard blocking the path is going to be fine. One and hope it's out. Keep up the pressure. Viable options. Calls off the sweepers. Supposed to be a solid guard in the 2-3 zone. So now Team Coutts is looking at the other side of the crease. And I guess on a positive, they have been playing both sides of the ice. So it's not like they've gotten the tunnel vision that some teams get where they play one side of the ice and say, oh, we'll try and play the other side of the ice and see what happens. Hopefully they have a decent idea of how these ones are going to react on that side. That community of stone, the neighborhood watch makes it on. They are protecting that house like their neighbors. Look at your neighbors who want to sponsor events. You or your business would like to become a sponsor for MoPac competitions or a live streaming service, visit MoPac.ca. Click on the contact link on the right hand side of the page. Here's Burton's last. I don't know what Coutts has in this last spot because you don't have quite a Christmas tree. You almost have a menorah giving all the lit stone towards the center of the tree. It's going to be very tricky to move that blue with draw weight. They took a wider path, so it's definitely going to get there, but I don't think it's going to get to the depth. It's going to get to the house, but it's not going to get to where they need it to. So unfortunately, it's no sure run towards the first. Here at the end of the fourth end. Fifth end, pardon me. So we're going to take a bit of a break. And when we come back, we will have second half of this game, first draw, 2021, MoPac will be Playdowns. Friendly reminder, this broadcast is presented by the authority of the South Pacific Association. They're not reproduced or retransmitted in any form without express written consent of the Constitution. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. and women's club playdowns. We are resuming our feature game between Team Coutts of Hollywood Curling Club and Team Burton of Coyotes. The scoring for now has been all Coyotes, Team Burton. After blinking the first, Coyotes scored a 3
LTEC, 1 minute
in
left
the
on your break.
second. And then after Coutts blanked the third, Coyotes stole the fourth and fifth for a score of 5-0. To update the other game, which on sheet B is between Team Feldman of Wine Country and Team Cable of Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. They are just finishing their 5th end intermission. And it looks like Lake Tahoe put up another point, so they are now up 7-4. Getting back to our feature sheet. Looks like Coutts is tapping back Coyotes shots. Just as a reminder, we're going to be back at around 6:30 tonight. As Team Burton will take on Team Cable on sheet A. Looks like Burton's putting up a guard, which is not too bad because they're sitting 2 in the house right now. Looks like Team Coutts wants to clean house a little bit. As Amanda Landry and Gonzalez throws a bit of pace at the rod, but it looks to be overcurling. And unfortunately will not hit anything. Looks like Burton wants to draw around. Maybe put up a guard or maybe sink another one. So Burton calls on the sweepers, who's going to let it go. Now they're going. Looks like it's going to be a guard. So I want to take a moment and express our thanks for the host club, Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. It's a dedicated 2-sheet facility. It is a jewel box, as they say. Everything's just a little on the small side, but it's just right for this club. It's a 2-sheeter. The warm room is cozy with a fireplace, and they got curling on the TV. Not my game, but they have another curling game on. But just my thanks to Lake Tahoe Epic Curling for being such a great host. A bit of a spill here from Jasmine. Hopefully she's okay. take a pause in the action to make sure that Jasmine's okay. I think they're kind of waving the help off, so hopefully she's okay. The result of the shot was that Hollywood was able to get a rocking house, but I think Burton's going to make a play on it. It is curling up. It's going to be a hit and stick. Team Burton sitting to 2 once more. If I looked at the situation correctly, it's a lot of blue in and in front of the house. Looks like it would be ideal if Hollywood could hit and roll a bit, and they were able to get a bit of a roll, but maybe could have swept a little bit to hold it, maybe get a little bit more roll under the guards on the left side of the sheet, because it is sitting pretty exposed right now at second shot. Keeling's next stone. No, sorry, it's Burton's first. I think they're just going to take out that red and basically sit in front of the house, making it very hard for Team Burton. Curling up a bit, but they're going to stick around. So a blank is highly unlikely at this point. I mean, it looks like they could possibly manufacture a skip to do this by drawing around twice, perhaps. Perhaps drawing around on the left side under their cover, their redstone, so that if Burton misses, if they chose to go that way. But it looks like they're going to try and go on the right side. Looks like Landry and Gonzalez is indicating it's maybe a touch inside the broom. Oh, it whipped off with a hot glue. So if they were perhaps able to sweep it a little bit more and get around that glue, that would have been a really excellent shot. As it is, Burton can just like take that out. They don't necessarily even need to stick around. If they do stick around, they'll be sitting 3. But if they hit and roll out, they're still sitting 2, and I would presume push Coutts into a draw for that 1. But listen, they are sitting up for the takeout. Slipping on really hard. It's around the guard. And they are going to get a bit of a roll under the cover of the guard and the blue that's in the top squad. And so Coutts is going to take his medicine and just do the draw for one. Has a bit of a wobble on the delivery, maybe a bit wide, unfortunately. Okay, it is curling. It has to get there. Has to get around the guard. Has to be like almost touching the forefoot, and unfortunately, it's not going to get there. And it looks to be another steal of 2 for Team Burton. It as we head into the 7th end of our 10-end game today. We'll be right back in just a moment as MoPac Women's Club Playdowns 2021-2022 continues. Live streaming of this and other regional competitions powered by our 18 clubs and 1,500 members of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. Our mission serves to grow curling and foster competition in Arizona, California, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, and Utah. Visit MoPacCA.org today to find a curling club near you or for help getting a club started in your community. Underway in the 7th end here in our feature sheet. And they're going to draw, maybe draw a little deep, which Team Coutts could use for backing if it doesn't go all the way through, which it appears it has gone all the way through. So we're going to be back here at 6:30 tonight, and we are going to be having games throughout the weekend. Our tour of tournaments will continue next week at the Coyotes Curling Club for the men's club playdowns. We are also going to be traveling to Southern California Curling Center in January for the mixed 4-person team club playdowns. So we have a bunch of live curling action from throughout the MoPac region coming up in the next month and a half or so. It's almost an early Christmas present. So Team Coutts is able to draw in. They're sitting back 4 back 8 as Kim Gaddy delivers her second shot. I think they're going to try and go for the takeout again. They're trying to get and roll towards past the center. Jasmine's next rock. Coutts is able to draw towards the top 8. Those are cheers for a shot on the other sheets. On our feature sheets, here's it appears that Amy Tubbs was able to successfully execute the takeout. Team Coutts is looking at this draw at this point because they need counters in play. Just looking at the scoreboard. Looks like it picked her at hogs. They are just taking that rock out of play. As you saw the tail end of that. So Burton's just looking to put one up top of the house or guard zone for Amy Thompson's second. Burton's called off the sweepers, they're just walking it down. It does look to be a touch heavy from what Burton had wanted. They're just sweeping it in now. Maybe just seeing how deep they can get it. So not the shot they wanted, and it does put another counter in the house, but it does provide backing for Team Coutts if they wanted to play towards it, or if any of their draws are heavy. So we have Amanda Gonzalez's second, or first shot, pardon me. Coutts is not calling the sweeper on. It does seem to be a bit heavy, and she wants it to move over, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately, as that rock goes out as well. So Burton's just she's clogging that path towards the center, which is a fairly solid defensive strategy. This does appear to be Tatiana Healing's first, if I counted correctly. She doesn't look happy with the shots. Burton's thing is going to be towards the top of the 8. Sweepers are on it. It looks like this might, no, the weight seems to be there. So I'm not quite sure if Keeley had the shot she wanted, but it looks like it's where Burton put the broom down. Now Coutts needs to clean house, get rid of some of these counters, and hopefully set something up to get on the scoreboard. And just nudges those front rocks out. Some of these shots do not appear to be going Coutts' way. But hopefully people can keep their spirits up. This is the first draw of the first game of the tournament, and hopefully figuring out the ice, getting this valuable competition experience will help them build into a better team in the future. Team Burton cleans the second shots. It appears they just are content to plug the gap that Coutts' rock just kind of wedged open. There's going to go touch deep. Not in a bad place. It's in the front of the tee. Front of the house. So even if Burton was able to move that out of the way, it's harder for, I think, Burton to, or Coutts to make something out of it. Although they could tap the blue to the back of the floor and kind of create a little bit of a nest to hopefully get some additional counters into the house. But they are throwing a bit of a pace at it. They're going to get almost a double out of it. It does free up the button, which is also a good strategy to have. So Keeling and Burton are calling their shot. I would think just chipping that red out, maybe curling past the curling so it hits the red on the right side of the stone, so that it doesn't run the risk of jamming on any of the blues in the back. And it definitely appears to amp up the pressure on Coutts to be able to get into the house to get a score. So this is Burton's first. Definitely looks to be a heavy hacker, martyr. Needs to get past the face, and they are able to. And they're also able to roll under the rock that's sitting in the top 12 on the left side, so they have a bit of a cover. So now with Team Coutts, they're looking to see where they can get into at least the full 4 foot to score. With the amount of ice that they've selected, I don't quite know what type of stroke they want. I think they called a bit of a weight on it. That Team Coutts is throwing a heavy shot. Jasmine's not sweeping it, she's just following it down. So hit and roll. Not too shabby. They got rid of a blue counter, and they're now sitting second shot. If it was able to maybe roll, I'm trying to think about what sort of angle they would have had to be able to maybe take that blue out of the way.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
Not a bad shot, and then it looks like Burton's just going to keep clogging up that line. So basically, I think just forcing Coutts to just draw to the button for the point. So looking at the other sheets, the Feldman Cable game, Cable was able to put another 2 points on that game. So that game is in the 7th end right now. And here's Burton's last rock in the 7th end. Not a lot of weight to the shot. They definitely wanted to be in front of the house. Gaddy's just cleaning it now. Thompson's helping out. Keeling's motioning where they want it. They just want it to be in that line, essentially. They don't want it to overcurl, though if it overcurls, it's not too bad. So now, Team Coutts is left with a draw. full force. They're sinking. As Becca Coutts goes back towards the hack for her last shot. Decent amount of ice. It looks like they're calling for almost 5.5 feet of curl if they want to get back to the center. Last rock. Jasmine's on it. Swinging hard. Now Coutts is helping out. And they're waving it off. It's not going to get there, unfortunately. So it's another steal of 1 for Team Burton as we head into the 8th end here. We are going to be right back to continue here at the MoPac Women's Club Playdowns 2021-2022. So, I do have to say that I'm very excited to be here. Again, this is your host, Ryan. And MoPac as an organization would like to extend its gratitude to our broadcasting chair and live stream producer. Hey, it's me, Ryan, for volunteering my time and resources to make this live stream happen. And the spirit of curling is in the spirit of volunteerism. Visit mopacca.org or your local club to get involved today. And this, hopefully you are all excited about this broadcast. I think just the ability to showcase some of the best curling that our region has offered is an exciting opportunity, and I look forward to being here this weekend at the men's club playdowns next week and at the mixed 4-person club playdowns in January in Southern California. So Kim Gaddy's first shot for Team Burton in this 8th end is going to be a draw toward the back button, past the back button, and sitting back to 4. Not so sure what's going on. Perhaps they called a timeout. Appears to be the case. According to our technical staff, that is what Team Coutts has done. They have called a timeout. And knowing when to call a timeout is a very important skill in curling, because sometimes you have competitive teams, they wait until the last minute to call a timeout, and then the coach basically goes like, there's no shot, or you only have 1 shot. And so in terms of strategizing, it's not perhaps the best to wait too long to call that timeout. Looks like the timeout's almost over. Still a bit of oddness with this timeout. Although they have plenty of time, so if they needed to burn some additional time, they could do so. But with Team Coutts, I think Team Coutts, you might be looking for silver linings, perhaps. If they're able to get on the board, maybe they can work into something, build some momentum heading into the second game, which again is at 6:30. And the wind's pretty small. Second shot. They're just going for a takeout. This is curling up a bit too much, but they're able to make contact. They're looking to perhaps cruise onto the shot rock, which would put them in a pretty solid position. Don't quite know. They don't necessarily know exactly where to put the drill. They are giving themselves about 4 feet. Jasmine Hashi's second shot. Does seem to be curling a bit too much. So I don't know if they were on broom, but if Jasmine Hashi was on broom, that's almost 7 feet of curl, which is astonishing. Amy Thompson shot here. Burton calls the sweepers off. Trying to do the piece of it. They do. Looks like the shooter's going to hang around too. So it looks like they're going to try that shot again. Jasmine Hashi, pardon me. So Gonzalez is sweeping pretty hard. It looks like it is going to over curl a bit again. Almost the same place as the last shot, a little deeper. So Burton's going to line up the takeout again. For Thompson for a second. And again, throwing looks like board weight. Supers are not on it. Now Caddy's going. And looks to hit and roll a bit, and it rolls out. So for Coutts, facing 2. It's a little late in the end to be setting up guard, so I think they're looking towards the draw freeze. But it looks like they're going to be trying to come from the other direction. ALG's first shot. Jasmine sweeping at it. Weight's decent. It's a little light. Looks like it's going to be top 4. It's all said and done. Yeah, fighting the top 4. Right here is Thompson's second. It looks like they're just going to try and take out that red. mission accomplished. Looks like they're going to roll and perhaps stick around, and they will. So now they're sitting at about 3, and Coutts is going for that draw freeze again. For Amanda Landry Gonzalez's next shot. The weight definitely seems to be up this time, maybe just a touch heavier. It looks like it's going to be a back 8 or more. And yes, it's going to attack the back. So they're sitting shot. It definitely looks like Burton's going to chip that out. Here comes Tatiana Keeling's next shot. It looks like another board weight takeout, and mission accomplished as it rolls over towards the left side of the lid. So they're looking for a takeout. I mean, they could again tap it back and create some backing so they can like sink some other stones. And hopefully improve the situation. But also keep in mind that they are, like, blue team is sitting 4 right now, including 2 on the edge that might be hard to get out later in the end. It looks like they're gonna. This looks to be a board weight. Needs to curl up. They got contact, and it looks like it is going to roll the blue shot rock out. So now blue Team Burton is sitting 3, as I can tell. That there might be one on the far right, so that might not be in, but it was in from my angle. So here we are, Skip Stone's 8th end here of our regulation 10 end game. And it looks like they're probably just going to draw, if I were to guess. And that's what they're calling for. It looks like they want it to be in the top 4. The sweepers are on it. In this situation, I mean, definitely don't be heavy. If it's a little light, which it looks to be, that's not the end of the world. Because it just makes a draw to the center that much harder for Team Coutts. Update on the sheet B, the Feldman cable game. Team Cable from Lake Tahoe put up another point, and it appears to be. It's hard to see the scoreboard when this plays away. Appears to be 10-4 in favor of Lake Tahoe at the drum. So here's Team Coutts on our feature sheet, setting up for a draw. Definitely trying to get enough ice for this shot. Weight looks pretty good. Supers are going after it. Curl it just a little bit more. They could, if it was just a little bit more curl and maybe just a little bit more weight, they would have a solid freeze on that blue in the back 8. as it is fairly exposed, especially for a skip like Burton to sit out.
That was early game drawing.
Here we go, last rock for Team Burton, 8-10. Looks like they're just going for a hit and roll or a hit and stick. It looks to be curling a bit. And it's jammed though. So not a bad outcome for Team Burton. They are sitting, it looks like two on the wings, forcing Coutts to do the draw to the button. That's kind of what you're looking at. Just a reminder, at around 6:30 tonight, our second draw games include on the feature sheet Team Burton versus Team Cable of Lake Tahoe Epic Curling. On sheet B, we have Team Coutts versus Team Feldman from Wine Country Curling Club out of the Roseville, Sacramento area. And that's coming up tonight at around 6:30 from Lake Tahoe Epic Curling and the MoPac YouTube curling channel. Your source for MoPac curling. Team Coutts does have a shot lined up, but ideally they would do a draw in this case. But I don't know if they have enough ice or if they're just looking to force the curl across the center and go towards the red. Perhaps a little red in the back. They're looking at the red. Last rock. Coutts, 8-10 here. Super strong. Pounding that rock. But it looks like it is going to be crashing on the blue. It's going to chip it in. Looks like the score, and it is going to be handshakes between Team Coutts and Team Burton. Thus ending our first draw here. So, all in all, a fairly interesting first game. Before we leave you, updating the B sheets game between Team Feldman and Team Cable. Can't quite see the score, but we're gonna wrap things up here. And I definitely thank you all for tuning in. And hope you'll join us again at 6:30 tonight as we will bring you Team Burton versus Team Cable. Looks like the other sheet was finishing their 8, and the score is 10-4 in favor of Team Cable. We hope you enjoyed our first game from the 2022 Women's Club Playdowns from MoPac. I hope you'll join us again at 6:30. Just another friendly reminder that this broadcast is presented by authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. So, we're going to leave you here tonight through 8 ends. It was Team Burton 12, Team Coutts, unfortunately 0. We'll see you again at 6:30 tonight, and for all of us here at Lake Tahoe Epic Curling, this has been your host Ryan saying so long and good curling, and until we see you again.